Something different happened this week. Before the game even kicked off, Marlon Humphrey dropped a message so strong it stopped people in their tracks. It wasn't just a hype line or some casual quote. It was a real warning, the kind that changes the energy in the locker room and makes every fan feel like something big is coming. And the craziest part is that he didn't say it to stir drama. He said it because he knows his game against the Steelers can shape a lot more than the standings. There's something behind the tone he used, something that shows exactly what's on the line. And once you understand why he said what he said, the whole situation hits different. So let's get straight to it, because you need to hear this. Marlon Humphrey didn't leave any room for confusion when he spoke about the Steelers game. He delivered that energy of someone who knows a moment is huge, and he made it clear that if a player can't get fired up for this matchup, it says a lot about their mindset and their desire to compete. This wasn't him exaggerating. It was a straight-up challenge, the kind that shakes up a locker room. His tone carried extra weight, because this isn't just about another game. Humphrey was bringing up something bigger, what it truly means to be a Raven. He said this matchup shows exactly who wears his jersey with real pride. It's a message that goes beyond the field, hitting on identity, responsibility, and respect. He basically turned this entire week into a test of who's actually all in. And when he said the Ravens are basically in playoff mode already, everything he meant became even clearer. In his mind, this week defines way more than the score on Sunday. It defines the attitude, the mindset, and even the direction this team is about to take for the rest of the season. That's why he said that even though some people claim there's no such thing as a must-win game, this one absolutely is. Deep down, Humphrey is trying to get the team to feel the weight, the good kind, of this moment. He knows the Ravens have been through a roller coaster this season, and maybe it's exactly because of that chaos that a defensive leader like him speaks with so much force. And that message opens the door to understanding something even deeper about the emotional impact of this week. When Humphrey says this game shows who is or isn't a real Raven, he's hinting at something nobody likes to admit. Moments like this expose who shows up and who hides. It's the kind of message that separates players who thrive under pressure from those who just blend in from week to week. He knows this game can reveal a lot inside that locker room. That kind of challenge creates an automatic effect within the team. Guys start reflecting on how they practice, how they carry themselves, how they handle mistakes, and whether they're mentally ready for a game this big. Humphrey puts that mirror in front of everyone. Not call anyone out, but to remind them that being a Raven requires a certain standard. And that makes total sense given everything this team has dealt with. The season started rocky. The team bounced back, then took a tough loss. All of that hits the mentality hard. Humphrey is looking at that full timeline and basically saying, now is when we find out who's actually built for this. It's a warning, a wake-up call, and a challenge all at once. This level of intensity shows he's not speaking just to talk. He's demanding immediate action, real energy, and total commitment, setting the stage for how this mindset affects the team's preparation this week. When Humphrey says the way the team practices this week echoes through the rest of the season, he's being brutally honest about something that isn't always said publicly. The Ravens have consistency issues, and those issues start with the little things. He's warning that Sunday's result won't just come down to talent. It'll come down to the attitude they bring into every rep this week. He wants practices that are sharper, tougher, more locked in. Practices where nobody coasts, nobody cuts corners, and nobody treats this like just another week. Because for him, this is not a normal week. This is the week that shows who's ready to carry the team into something bigger, and who still doesn't understand the weight of the moment. And he feels that way because the Ravens are walking a very thin line right now. They're either about to take off for real or fall into the same old trap of believing everything will just magically work out without putting in the same level of focus every single day. Humphrey knows that mindset can be costly, and that's exactly why he's speaking with so much urgency. This idea that preparation shapes the rest of the season leads us to another layer of his message. The Ravens can't afford to repeat the mistakes that got them here, and that includes understanding exactly what this game represents emotionally and historically.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
When Humphrey says this game defines who's a real Raven, he's pointing at something everyone already knows. The rivalry with the Steelers is not just another date on the schedule. It's a battle of pride, identity, and respect. It's the kind of game that tests toughness, composure, and desire in ways no regular matchup can. And that's why his words hit so hard. This isn't a speech before some random opponent. It's a leader getting the team ready for a physical and emotional war. The kind of game that demands a commitment level way above the norm. And if a player can't get motivated for this, Humphrey knows that person probably shouldn't be carrying the Ravens logo. This rivalry has always been about ugly, physical games decided by the slightest mistakes. Humphrey understands that these moments reveal traits you'll never see in practice or in ordinary matchups. It's a stage that exposes who stays calm under pressure and who cracks. And that's why his message isn't just motivation. It's an emotional reminder that this game has the power to shape the entire season, setting the tone for the final and strongest part of everything he's trying to tell the team. When Humphrey calls this a must-win game, he's not just talking about the scoreboard. He's talking about identity, confidence, and the future. He feels that if the team wins this one, something important unlocks, something that can carry the Ravens through the stretch run. But if they lose, it can open the door to doubts that ruin everything. For him, beating the Steelers right now is symbolic. It's proving, above all, that the Ravens are ready for big moments without flinching. It's showing they've learned from every mistake, every setback, and every punch they've taken this season. That's what must-win means to him. Winning to show who you are. And that emotional urgency is why his words echo so loudly. Humphrey is trying to light a fire inside the team, reminding them that this is a kind of game that shifts the entire narrative of a season, for better or worse. And anyone who doesn't feel that is going to get left behind. In the end, what he's saying is simple but powerful. This game isn't just about the AFC North. It's about the soul of the team. It's about who's willing to look their teammates in the eye and say, I'm here. And when a leader like him speaks with that level of conviction, it's because he feels something big is about to happen, something that could define what the Ravens become from this point forward. So now the question goes to you. After hearing everything Humphrey said, do you believe this team is ready to respond the right way against the Steelers? Because one way or another, this matchup is about to show exactly what's inside this team. And if the response comes the way he expects, the rest of the season might take a completely different turn.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.